Hi everyone, Simon here, kicking off 2025 with a collection of updates in version 2.6.3. There's lots of behind the scenes updates here that you won't directly see, but what they do is enable even more integration between the different tools in the app and lay foundations for future features. So, starting with the angles and targeting tool, where the biggest improvements are related to oil patterns. Now when you tap the current pattern up here, you get this little drop down menu. Previously, when you tap this, you could only select from patterns that you'd marked as favourites, if you even had any. Otherwise, the only way to change was to leave angles and targeting, go find a pattern in the pattern library, view it, and tap the button down here. Now you can tap Change Oil Pattern and select from the entire library without leaving the angles and targeting tool. Or if you just want more detail on the one that's currently selected, just tap View Oil Pattern to pop it up. Heading over to the bowling ball arsenal tool, when you're in one of your own bags, you can now see at a glance any that have a layout attached to them, and also the PAP if there's a drilling attached. In the ball chart, highlighting balls from the list was a bit fiddly, as the second tap viewed the ball, and you could only deselect it by tapping the ball on the chart. Now you can do either, and you can still get to the full info by tapping the icon over here. Just above the list, you'll now see some extra hints and tips in a few situations, in particular like this, if you haven't changed from the default RG versus diff when looking at one of your own bags. As you can see, it says, when comparing your own bags, avoid factory values like RG and diff, which work better when shopping for new equipment. Tap an axis to pick other values. You can also rank balls specifically for you for things like hook amount and length. So you can just tap the chart settings or on each axis to change what values you're comparing. So let's use the ones it mentioned and pick hook amount along the bottom and length up the side. You'll notice we have a new tip down here. Length and hook amount are editable. Tap a ball on the chart to highlight it and drag to edit. For a ball that doesn't have these values yet or isn't visible, tap it in the list below. So let's try that. We can tap a ball on the chart and adjust its position, just like that. Or we can pick a ball from the list and move it into position for how it rolls relative to your other balls. Different balls roll differently for different people, even more so with different drillings and surfaces. So doing this based on how you see the ball rolling for you is much more valuable than going by any arbitrary hook ratings you might find online. If you don't have any balls with this information yet, you might not be able to select it as an axis, so you'll need to edit the ball and change the setting under My Performance Rankings. Moving on to the Layouts and Drillings tool, let's open a custom layout and edit it, and you'll see the ball will now automatically rotate to keep as much of the layout as possible visible all the time. Likewise, when you change the PAP, it will animate to the new position, so you can visually see the difference that it makes. And when you tap any of the values, it will center in on them on the ball. The other thing you'll notice when you do that is that this label now appears, and tapping on the info icon will pop up a glossary of that and any other relevant terms if you want to know more about what they all are. Last but not least, we're going to the Notes tool, where there's now a lot more flexibility for tagging your notes. You can now add and remove tags for bag, bowling ball, drilling, layout and pattern right from the View Note screen. So for example, to add a bowling ball to an existing note, just tap the Add button, choose bowling ball, pick the bag that it's in and tap the ball. Once I've done that, I can then tap on the tag to give me the option to remove it or to view the full item. So, alongside all the behind the scenes updates and a few performance and usability improvements, that's what's new in version 2.6.3. It's out now, and as usual you should find your device updates automatically sometime over the next few days. Otherwise, just search on the App Store and look for the update button. Please don't hesitate to contact me with any questions or comments via the website at www.tenpintoolkit.com. You can also follow on Instagram, X and TikTok as Tenpin Toolkit, all one word, or search for Tenpin Toolkit on Facebook. Thanks for watching and bowl well.